How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. Now on today's show we're going to be talking about last night's playoff game, the richest game in football, and it wasn't that great, but Fulham are back in the Premier League. We're also going to be talking about Manchester City because they've made their first signing of the summer, and the last piece of news involves Arsenal because they are now front runners to sign Lille centre-back Gabriel.
I represent my fucking self.
How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. That's right.
So the first place we're going to start is last night's playoff game, the richest game in football. And Fulham, they are back into the Premier League at the first time of asking. It's their second promotion in 3 seasons via the playoffs. And Brentford, they're going to be absolutely gutted. They've absolutely blown it in the final weeks of the season. They should have got automatic promotion ahead of West Brom, but they blew it. You think of their performance against Stoke, that was the one that stood out for me when they lost away from home. Not even that final game of the season defeat. It was that Stoke one. It was so poor from them. You look at the semi-finals and the first leg that they lost that one, and the way they turned it round in the second leg, and you thought to yourselves, you know what, yeah, they've pick themselves back up and they should well be able to deal with this one, in the final. But Fulham, fair play to them. Scott Parker as well. He's been able to do something that Frank Lampard's not been able to do, which is win a playoff final. And it wasn't a great game. Let's, get that one in there straight away. 0-0 in the first 90 minutes. And it was one of those affairs where you could tell that both teams knew what was on the line and they just didn't really want to go for it too much in case they left themselves open at the other end. It was so nervy, and I can understand that because there's such a high price at stake, and it's not just the money side of things, it's the place in the Premier League. Brentford, they're going to be moving into their brand new stadium, but they're going to be moving into it in the Championship. The same, and it's so tough, and you've got to wonder whether that was Brentford's big opportunity and whether they will even be able to match the heights of this season again next season, because it's going to be difficult. And the biggest issue that they have is the fact that so many of their players have put themselves in the shop window now. So will they be able to even keep hold of half of their team? There's one player in particular that we all know about. I don't think that they will be able to keep a lot of those players. They're probably going to get some good money for them, but that's not going to be good for them going into the Championship. I think they may well, struggle next year if they do lose a lot of their main guys, but it's not great. And Fulham, we'll be able to see whether they'll be able to actually establish themselves in the Premier League. I think it's going to be really difficult for them, to be honest with you. And I think that it could well be more disappointment for them, and they may well end up back in the Championship. But it all depends what they do in the summer window. And I keep saying the summer window like it's a normal season. We are in the summer, and it's the transfer window. Let's just say that. What they do, being a Premier League side now, players will be interested, will want to go there. They've got a decent little stadium, Craven Cottage. They're having some rebuilding work done there and everything. I don't know if they've actually finished that stand that they were rebuilding. I was outside Fulham doing some filming a number of months ago. I think it was towards the end of last year or the start of this year. I can't even remember. And I see all the work that was going on and everything else. So I don't know whether that's going to be sorted, but obviously, can fans even go into the stadium? It's a proper old school stadium, proper old fashioned. You're really up close and personal to the players and stuff. I like all that kind of stuff. And listen, Fulham, man, they're back in the Premier League. Now, the goals themselves, I'll tell you something, right? The first goal. And I'm looking at it and I'm thinking to myself, right, okay. And I was watching the game. It was scored by Joe Bryan. And he scored both the goals, actually. But he was miles out. It was kind of a free kick that you would look at and you say, it's going into the box. There's absolutely no chance he's going to shoot from here. But the goalkeeper was so far off his line. It's one of them where he's caught him out. But he should not be getting caught out from there. Now, in the interview after the game, he said that it was something that they'd actually worked on in training with Scott Parker. And that they had realised that the goalkeeper is ridiculously off his line. He's anticipating a cross, which is what would normally happen in that situation. And they've caught him out big time. And I don't know whether it was the fact it was because it was in extra time, maybe a bit of fatigue, tired legs. Caught the goalkeeper off guard. Brilliant, to use your mind that quickly and to be able to execute it. But he shouldn't be scoring from there. Absolutely no chance should he be scoring from there. But fair play to him. And it's going to be big next year to see what, Fulham do. And like I said, he scored both goals. He scored his second with 3 minutes to go. Brentford, they pulled a goal back. Dalsgaard in the 124th minute, and that was literally the last kick of the game. Too little, too late. And Fulham, they are now a Premier League team, and they join West Brom and Leeds United. So congratulations to them. Next piece of news involves Manchester City, and they have signed winger Ferran Torres from Valencia on a 5-year deal. The Spain under-21 international becomes Pep Guardiola's first summer signing, joining for an initial fee of 20.8 million plus bonuses. Manchester City moved for Torres following Leroy Sané's transfer to Bayern Munich last month. The 20-year-old came through Valencia's renowned academy and scored 4 times in 34 appearances last season as they finished 9th in La Liga. He is considered one of Spain's brightest young prospects, but Valencia needed to sell some players to balance their books even before the financial impact of coronavirus. So yeah, this is a transfer that we've been hearing about for the last couple of weeks, and it's been official and confirmed. Manchester City have got their man. Now, I'm not going to lie, I don't know too much about him. Valencia do have a very good track record of producing young talent through their academy, but I don't know a lot about him. It doesn't seem a massive fee, £20.8 million, when you include the bonuses and everything else. You're looking at his stats last year, 34 appearances, and he only scored 4 times. That's not the greatest of ratios for a winger, but I suppose this is one for the future for Man City. And Pep Guardiola, he can certainly work his magic on him. Although you would hope he can work his magic, because from what everyone says, it's actually Mikel Arteta that works with the wingers. And sorry, cheap dig, sorry. But listen, it'd be interesting to see how he does in the Premier League. I think this is one for the future, most definitely. And Manchester City have their man. Last piece of news involves Arsenal. And Lille centre-back Gabriel, because Arsenal have stepped up their pursuit according to reports in France. Now, Mikel Arteta is looking to bolster his options in defence this summer, although he already has William Saliba as a new addition following the end of his loan spell with St Etienne. Manchester United, Everton and Napoli have all been linked with a move for the 22-year-old, but according to France Bleu Le Nord, Arsenal have stepped up the chase and are now leading negotiations to sign the Brazilian defender. The reports claim that Napoli were willing to offer 30 million euros for Gabriel after signing Victor, but the situation has changed and Arsenal are now in position to sign the centre-back. Reports last week claimed that Gabriel's representatives were in England to hold talks with potential buyers, with Manchester United and Everton believed to be the two teams interested. So listen, this is a very interesting bit of news that developed yesterday. And Napoli, if this is true, are going to be sick and tired of Arsenal, because it happened with Leno, it happened with Lucas Torreira, every time they seem to have a player that they want to buy and they're the front runners to sign them, Arsenal step in and just say, move out of the way, we're taking him. Manchester United were definitely in for him, as were Everton. But now it looks like Arsenal are the front runners. And the publication and the reports coming out of France are from a very, very trusted source. Now, the source was actually the one who broke the news about Nicola Pepe joining Arsenal before everybody else. So given their track record, you've got to look at that and say, okay, we're going to trust it. Now, I've not seen a lot of French football in terms of the league campaign, but I have watched him in the Champions League. Of course, he's a teammate, former teammate of Nicola Pepe. Left-footed centre-back. Very quick, very strong, very powerful. And he's a good player. Very, very good player. And if Arsenal can get this job done, for under £30 million, then I think they'll be happy with that. It looks like the De Upamecano situation is, dead in the water. That's finished with. So this could be the next best thing. And I would be very, very happy. And when you look at the age and what our backline would be consisting of, this could well be our backline sorted for the next few years. More than just the next few years. When you think of the likes of Kieran Tierney, when you think of the likes of Saliba, and if Gabriel signs, and whether Maitland-Niles he goes into that right back position or Hector Bellerin stays. Remember, Hector's still young. So yeah, it's very interesting. But if we get this one done, then that would be the defence sorted going for next season. And we would just have to try and get maybe a Thomas Partey, a Philippe Coutinho, and then you can add the likes of Willian to that, and I'd have absolutely no problems. Then I think if you tie Aubameyang down to a new contract, we're good to go. It's about getting rid of players then. So very interesting, and we will see what happens in the coming days. So there we go. That is it for today's DT's Daily. As usual, let me know in the comment section what you think about today's topics. Let me know what you think about Gabriel. Do you watch a lot of French football? And if you do, what do you think of him? Do you think that he would fit and suit Arsenal perfectly? If you're new around here, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you smash a like on this video. And I will see you lot soon. I'm out of here.